For me, I think of this often. I sometimes think of them as second order emotions. Like I am frustrated with myself for being anxious, or I'm annoyed with myself for the hedonic treadmill. And, emotions are normally like fairly short lasting, but you can renew them if you have a thought that triggers the emotion again. Like often when you're angry about something, the initial episode of anger will be fairly short, a few seconds, a few minutes. The reason it can go on for much longer than that is that you've re experienced the external trigger or the internal trigger of thinking about the thing that made you angry. And so you've basically renewed the emotion. And so this is one of the reasons why cognitive reframing is important because you can try to stop renewing the emotion. But for the second order emotions, where you think, what kinds of examples were you thinking of?
Yeah, the ones that you used. So frustration at myself for being so anxious, a degree of guilt about something, despite the fact that I probably don't need to feel guilty about it. Perhaps like
Yeah.
a sense of shame around something, and then frustration at the guilt, and self resentment at the shame, and then
Yeah.
you get a third order one, which is like being bored at your agitation, at your persistent anxiety.
Yeah, sometimes we flagellate ourselves for our emotions with more painful emotions. To me, it really helps to understand why the emotions are there in the way that we were talking about earlier. I think that takes a lot of the sting out of the second order self flagellation. If you understand why the hedonic treadmill exists, it makes total sense. You no longer need to be pissed at yourself for feeling it. If you understand that sadness serves a function and it's not weird of you to feel sad when you're stuck in a dead end marriage or job, then you don't need to berate yourself for feeling sad. If you understand why anxiety is hyperactive by design, well, you can try to regulate your anxiety, but you don't need to beat yourself up for feeling anxiety. And so, to me, and I hope this helps others as well, the insights for why the thing exists and why it's functional helps us to feel less bad and beat ourselves up less for feeling it in the first place.